Hello everyone, I'm Senator Mary Landrieu and welcome to the April edition of Mary's Mail. The last few weeks have been very busy here in Washington, and many of you emailed and wrote letters to share your thoughts on what's happening in Louisiana and also right here in the nation's capital. This month, many of you shared your continued concerns about the irresponsible cuts in education funding contained in the long-term CR the House of Representatives passed. I, too, am so concerned about what some members on that side are trying to do. I've received many pieces of mail about our actions in Libya as the United States enters a third military conflict in the Mideast, so I thought I'd take a few of these questions. The first question today comes from Margaret in Shreveport. Margaret writes, "Please urge President Obama to support the people of Libya now. This is the time to help the people of Libya who suffered so much under the horrible dictator that we've condoned and even supported. We must aid these helpless people." Thank you, Margaret, so much for writing, and I do support the actions taken by the UN Security Council authorizing all necessary measures to impose a no-fly zone in Libya to protect civilians and civilian-populated areas under threat of attack, especially women and children, who are sometimes the targets of these atrocities. The administration should be recognized for its diplomatic efforts and work with the UN on their resolutions in a partnership. We must continue our efforts with the Arab League and our NATO allies to ensure enforcement of this resolution. We must also unite across parties and chambers to support the actions the administration has taken. We continue to have threats against our country in many different ways, and when we cross that ocean, we need to stand together. As the current Allied operations continue, I'll monitor these events closely to make sure that our Allied forces are doing everything possible to ensure the safety and protection of those innocent Libyan civilians on the ground. And our final question today comes from Amanda in Covington. Amanda is the mother of 2 young boys and is concerned about cuts to education in the GOP long-term continuing resolution. She emailed me and she says, "I'm writing, Senator, to ask you to do everything in your power to help funding for Head Start continue. I'm a full-time student. I'm a single mother of 2 boys, ages 4 and 2. If it were not for Head Start, I would not be able to continue my pursuit of an education and long-term career." She continues by writing, "This program is essential to lower-income parents and the parents of special needs children. My 4-year-old attends Head Start in Covington. This is his 2nd year there." She goes on to say how the program has been so helpful to her and her situation. I have some very bad news to everyone, that if the GOP CR passes, which is the House-led, Republican-led continuing resolution, which tries to slash about $100 billion from this year's budget. Now we're almost into 6 months of this budget. 4,000 fewer children in Louisiana will receive quality early childhood education. That's 4,000 families directly affected, as well as several thousand families that are in that support network, not to mention the children themselves that lose out on that opportunity. It is not right to make these budget cuts fall on the most vulnerable children in our state and nation. That's why I'm opposing it. These cuts would lead to 16,000 classrooms closing, some of them immediately, and over the country 218,000, almost 250,000 children being cut out of the Head Start program. This is what happens when you mindlessly slash domestic spending. Some of our best programs are eliminated. We should be eliminating waste and fraud and abuse, not programs like Head Start and Teach for America. And that is why we are fighting with everything we can against the House continuing resolution. Yes, we have to cut funding. Yes, we have to reduce domestic spending, but we also have to reduce military spending as recommended by our Secretary, Secretary Gates, where we can, and save money there, and also ask the very wealthiest among us, those with incomes of over $100 million, to step up and help us close this budget gap. We can get through this year and then do some long-term changes for the out years to reduce our budget and get our budget back in line. Remember, The last budget we had that was in line was when a Democrat was in the White House, and that was President Clinton. So we all have, to share this responsibility to get our budgets back in line, but they should not be done on the backs of children in Head Start programs. So thank you so much for writing, and we're going to continue this important fight in Washington. You can contact me at landrieu.senate.gov or send a letter the old-fashioned way to our office. Thank you so much.